Hello and welcome, I'm Bert the Stormtrooper, and today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Robots in Disguise 2015 Sideswipe, and I like this toy, but he's got some problems. Released in April of 2015, this guy is brand new and he's starting to hit stores right now as of the time of this recording, and is retailing anywhere between $11 to $15 depending on where you buy him. Now we've got him here in the package so you can see what it looks like right out of the box. We've got the Robots in Disguise artwork that we've started to become familiar with. We got the white background with the red lettering. We've got our Autobot logo here with the scan. Now, if you guys didn't know this, I've kind of been wanting to mention this. The Autobot logo on the toy itself is not the only thing that you can scan. You can actually scan the logo on the cardboard, on the packaging, and then there's another logo on the back right here where it's explaining how to play the game. You can actually scan this logo and this logo once a day, every day, for extra points if you're playing the game. So if you're doing so, go ahead and take that with you. And then again, of course, if you scan the logo on the vehicle itself, you'll get this character in the game. So there's your packaging. There's some cool artwork of Sideswipe right there on the top. Looking at the side, you got the same artwork right there, Sideswipe. Nothing on this side. Down on the bottom, we've got some tiny type. And we've got some cross cells showing us Bumblebee, Optimus Prime, and Jazz. And then looking around the back of the packaging, we can see the picture of the actual toy in both modes, robot and vehicle mode. 10 easy steps for transformation, and once again talking about the game on your phone. So there you go. That's pretty much it for the packaging. Again, I'm going to say this one more time. The packaging looks nice, but I really miss the days when we got Transformers packaged in vehicle modes or their alternate modes, whatever those may be. The idea is, it says so right here, Robots in Disguise. So when you package this in robot mode, you're kind of letting it all out there. I don't know. Call me old-fashioned or whatever, but I kind of miss the days when these guys were packaged in your vehicle mode. You had to open them up and transform them to get to see what the robot looked like. So that's just me. But how about we get this guy opened up and check out the toy inside? And here is Sideswipe in his vehicle mode. Here in vehicle mode, Sideswipe is approximately 5 inches long and about 1.25 inches tall. And he looks pretty cool and pretty close to the way he looks on the show. And then from there on, we're going to start running into problems with him. Like I said, he looks pretty cool, but I don't know how well it's translating on camera. But the paint job on him, while it is pretty even and well coated, you're probably seeing a difference here in the shades of red. There are a few different shades of red on this vehicle. The hood is different from the fenders, which are different from the roof, which is different from the back spoiler, and this is different from the back fenders. It's like they used some of this plastic was molded in red, and some of this plastic is clear translucent plastic, as you can see through the bottom here on the hood. It's clear translucent plastic that was painted over top. So the paints didn't really match up. But that's okay. I'm kind of willing to overlook that. The biggest problem that I have with this guy is that he doesn't roll very well. I don't know if you really can tell or not. By the way I'm pushing him, he doesn't really have a whole lot of roll. You tap him and he kind of stops. The problem is that he's got this fake chest for transformation here. That's going to be his chest in robot mode. In vehicle mode, well, as you can see, for robot mode, there's nowhere to put it. It doesn't clear the wheels. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to flip it down, and it kind of sort of clicks into place when you put it down for the vehicle mode. However, you can see there that it still sticks pretty far down, enough to rub on the floor or on your surface when you're trying to roll him. So whenever you're trying to roll him, you're rubbing that chest piece on your surface, and he doesn't roll very well. If you try to roll him far, he'll either stop or he'll turn itself. It's just kind of, he doesn't roll well, so he's not really successfully doing this vehicle mode. I still think he looks great. I love the way he looks, but he does have a few problems that I think I should point out. You should be aware of if you're looking to get this figure. He does come with this weapon. He's got this cool little sword that he comes with. And again, there's absolutely nowhere to store this weapon unless you want to just peg it into the top of the roof. Right there, which I think looks silly. I don't like when they peg the weapons to the vehicle. So there you go. So there's that. Again, I personally, I've said it. I'm going to say it again. I like the toy. I'm okay with it, but I think I should be responsible and let you guys know of the problems with this figure if you're looking to get it. So let's get into transformation. Transformation is really intricate. It's really interesting. I really like a lot of the things that they did with the transformation. But again, there are going to be problems when we get into robot mode. So I'm going to start right here. I'm going to grab the doors and the fenders. These are going to be the arms, so you're going to want to pull these out into the side, and they do have a tendency to get stuck sometimes. Sometimes I get lucky, like that time right there. I got lucky, they didn't get stuck. I have an issue sometimes with this fender getting stuck on this bumper, and it really just doesn't want to come out, and I'm afraid I'm going to break it sometimes. But as you can see, that time it came out just fine. So I'm going to go around here and go ahead and take the roof of the vehicle, or not, yeah, well, the windshield right here and the hood, and these are going to hinge back and down just like so. Just kind of get them out of the way. The legs are interesting as well. Go ahead and just push the arms up and out of the way. Fold the legs down a bit just to clear them from the rest of the vehicle and separate them. Now these black pieces right here on the back of the car, these are going to be the feet. So you're going to want to try and just bend them out just a little bit, and then you're going to take the back back wheel well, and the back wheel well only. This is going to rotate, as you can see, just like so. And as you do that, at the same time, you're going to need that foot to clear this back spoiler. So that's going to rotate up and over and around the foot, just like so. Same thing on the other side. Just kind of move that foot out of the way and start rotating the fender. Bring it all the way around and get your foot into place, just like so. Bring the arms down again out of the way. So we are going to take the shoulders of the arms right here. We got the headlights that are up on the shoulders. If you bend them up here at the wheel well, just kind of bend the arm forward. It's going to give you a little bit of clearance, make it a little easier to do this. This is really, really interesting the way this works. So this whole fender is going to rotate inwards towards the robot like so. It's going to go up and over this piece that's going to become the arm, or rather the support for the arm. And it's going to rotate all the way around just like so. At this point, you can straighten out the arm again, and then you can bring it up. And that's going to form that little collar piece for him. This is actually the back piece of the fender, or the wheel well where it meets the door. It actually becomes the top of his collarbone, which I think is really interesting the way that works. So once again, you just kind of rotate that around and then bring it up and just get everything into place. Bring the roof down. He's pretty much all done at this point. Now, if I can get this to focus in just right, you may be able to see this. There are pegs right here on the insides of the shoulder and the torso. There's a little peg, a round peg there, and a little crescent moon peg right here. There's one on each side, and you can see the ports for those right here on the inside of the chest. So what's supposed to happen here is that the chest is going to flip up and peg into those arm pieces and hold everything in place, which is really interesting. However, it doesn't work. You're going to get a lot of the Blitzwing issues, if you're familiar with the Generation Blitzwings, where he looked great, but the whole torso didn't really hold together. When you're trying to move him around, that's what happens. The whole arms are just going to pop out of place. So let's get him standing here. Here is Sideswipe in robot mode, and I think he looks really, really nice. I really love the way this guy looks. Here in robot mode, Sideswipe is approximately 5 inches tall. And as you can see, again, he looks great. He looks just like he does on the show. He does have a little bit of kibble. You've got that door and window kibble right there on the arm. The hood and the windshield on the back, I don't think are that bad. I think that's acceptable amount of kibble, but he is a little bit kibbly on the arms right there. But when you look at him from the front, it doesn't really show. He looks really, really nice. And again, as you can see right there, as I'm trying to pose him, you can see that piece just pop out right there. It's one of those where you kind of have to treat it with very delicate kid gloves when you're trying to pose him, because those shoulders are just constantly going to be popping off. Again, I think he looks fantastic. He looks really, really nice. But he's so difficult to pose sometimes because of those pieces just continuing to pop off. Just to get a close-up look at the head here. Again, as you can see, he looks really good. He looks just like he does on the show. And as far as articulation goes, he's got a ball-jointed head. So you can go up and down. You can go side to side on him. You've got in and out on the shoulder right there. That piece is hinged, so you can go in and out. and then you can rotate the arm right here at the wheel, so you can rotate it forward and backwards. He's not going to go all the way around. He only goes straight up like that, and then going back, he's going to go back about that far. He does have a stopper built in there, so he's not going to go all the way around. The elbow is on a ball joint, so you've got a nice range of movement at the ball joint. There's no waist rotation, but the hips here, these are on universal joints, so you can go forward and backwards. You can go in and out with these guys. You've got a rotation right there above the knee. You've got a nice bend at the knee, and then you've got a hinge right there at the ankles. So not a bad set of articulation for this guy. He's relatively poseable. Again, if you can get around this whole issue of the shoulders popping off every time you're trying to pose him, but once you get around that, he is capable of doing some cool poses and looking nice. Again, this figure's best feature, I think, is that he looks really, really nice. But I know that shoulder thing is going to be a turnoff for a lot of people. Let me try and get him to stand straight there for a second. We'll bring in his weapon, his sword. He looks really nice with the sword. I like to kind of do these defensive poses with him, where he's just kind of holding the sword in front of him, like so. And just kind of a ready pose like that. I kind of like to do these poses with him. I think he looks nice like that. So there is Sideswipe. And for comparison, I figured I'd show him off next to Strong Arm, since they're always kind of bickering and at each other's throats and whatnot. You see them together a lot on the show. I figured I'd show them off together right there. There he is for Strong Arm. And just for the heck of it, why don't we do this? Why don't we just go ahead and bring in the rest of the team, so we can see what they all look like together. There's the whole... I'm going to have to back them up even more. So there you go. There's the whole team for Robots in Disguise together at last, minus Optimus and not Sideswipe, Jazz and Drift. I haven't seen them on the show yet, so maybe I'll show them all together later on when I do Jazz. But there you go. There's the whole team for now, and that's what they all look like together, which I think looks really, really nice. And we'll get these guys out of the way and focus back on Sideswipe. So, yeah, like I said, I think Sideswipe is pretty cool. I like it, but there are definite problems with this figure. You saw that on the vehicle mode, the paint jobs, the paint doesn't really match everywhere. And he's got the big thing with the chest piece just dragging when you're trying to roll him and whatnot. And then in robot mode, again, he looks nice. He poses well, but he's got that issue whenever you're trying to fiddle with him, move him around or whatever. That's just going to pop open like that, because this little design they came up with for the chest just doesn't really work. It just doesn't peg. And I mean, it pegs in, but it just doesn't hold. So, but he is nice looking figure. I enjoy him. He looks good up on the shelf with the rest of the team. So there you go. There's all the goods and the bads with him, and I'll leave it up to you to decide whether you want to pick him up or not. And I think that is about going to do it for Robots in Disguise 2015 Sideswipe. What did you think of this figure, and what would you like to see me review next? Let me know by leaving me a comment, give me some thumbs up, subscribe and share with your friends if you like what you see, and I'll talk to you next time.